It started as just another day in Jay Leno's garage, a place filled with gleaming cars, the scent of oil, and the hum of engines. But on November 12, 2022, what should have been a routine moment of tinkering turned into a life-changing incident. Jay was working on a 1907 white steam car, trying to clear a clogged fuel line. He blew air through it, as he often did, when suddenly gasoline sprayed into his face, hit the pilot light, and flames erupted. In an instant, the man known for his calm, infectious smile was engulfed in fire. His friend Kevin Kaki rushed to his side, smothering the flames and calling 911. Jay suffered severe burns across his face, hands, and chest, spending 9 days at the Grossman Burn Center undergoing surgeries, skin grafts, and hyperbaric oxygen treatments. Even in pain, he quipped about getting a face full of gas and lighting himself up. This dramatic event, shocking as it was, reflected more than just an accident. It was emblematic of the challenges and unexpected turns in the life of a man who had once dominated late-night television. Behind the humor, the cars, and the fame, Jay Leno's story is one of perseverance, resilience, and a relentless drive that began long before the bright lights of The Tonight Show. James Douglas Muir Leno, known to the world as Jay Leno, was born on April 28, 1950, in New Rochelle, New York, a quiet suburb just 18 miles from Manhattan. His mother, Catherine, arrived from Scotland at age 11 and never finished high school, yet she worked tirelessly to instill a sense of responsibility and discipline in her family. Jay's father, Angelo, emigrated from a small Italian village called Flumieri and worked in insurance, living a life where every dollar counted. From a young age, Jay absorbed lessons in hard work, frugality, and perseverance. Chores around the house and small acts of responsibility weren't just tasks, they were early lessons in discipline that would shape the man he became. When Jay was 7, his family moved to Andover, Massachusetts, and he enrolled in St. John's Preparatory School, a strict Catholic institution where rules were everywhere. But rules were made to be tested in Jay's eyes. He pulled pranks, set off firecrackers in class, and consistently tested authority with a mischievous grin. One teacher even wrote that if Jay applied as much effort to studying as he did to comedy, he would become a big star, a prophecy Jay would eventually fulfill. Jay's older brother, Patrick, contrasted sharply with his playful younger sibling. Patrick served in Vietnam and endured severe burns during combat, yet he emerged disciplined and studious, eventually becoming a lawyer. The loss of Patrick in 2002 left a deep imprint on Jay, shaping his perspective on family, time, and the fragility of life. Even as a teenager, Jay showed remarkable ambition and ingenuity. At 14, he bought a 1934 Ford pickup and spent 2 years restoring it himself. He worked at McDonald's and a Ford dealership, earning minimum wage but saving diligently. These early jobs taught him discipline, patience, and the importance of valuing money, a mindset he carried throughout his career. Despite guidance counselors suggesting he stick to McDonald's, Jay refused to give up on bigger dreams. He earned a partial scholarship to Emerson College in 1968, studied speech therapy, and graduated in 1973. During college, his interest in comedy flourished, influenced by his mother's Scottish storytelling and accent mimicry. Jay discovered that humor wasn't always about loud jokes, it was about timing, delivery, and subtlety. Jay's first serious foray into comedy began while still in college. He performed at Boston clubs for modest pay, sometimes even at strip clubs if it meant covering tuition. He drew material from everyday life, dorm experiences, dating, and city life. His performances quickly revealed a natural talent for connecting with audiences. He also founded the Emerson Comedy Workshop, the school's first comedy club, attracting more than 200 students at its first show. Jay's jokes were simple yet relatable, drawing laughter from the small absurdities of life. By working as a school bus driver for $1.50 an hour, he honed his crowd control skills, learning to adjust humor to the audience, an early lesson that would later define his Tonight Show success. After graduation, Jay drove to Los Angeles with $300 and a van full of notebooks, sleeping in cars and empty houses while performing at open mics for food. His debut on The Tonight Show in 1977, even with only 5 minutes on stage, proved transformative. Johnny Carson, notoriously critical of newcomers, praised his act as clean and accessible, and Jay's career took off. Throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s, Jay Leno worked tirelessly in clubs, TV writing, and small network shows, steadily building his reputation. He performed nearly 300 nights a year at the Comedy Store, often improvising and interacting with audiences in ways that became legendary. He embraced unconventional stunts, like riding his motorcycle onto the stage, demonstrating his daring and willingness to stand out. His HBO special in 1985, Jay Leno and the American Dream, was a turning point, reaching over 1.2 million viewers and cementing his status as a national comedy star. His routines, blending politics, everyday observations, and consumer culture, resonated widely. By 1987, NBC made him the permanent guest host for Johnny Carson, a rare privilege that allowed Jay to experiment with segments like Jaywalking, where ordinary people's hilarious mistakes made television history. This exposure positioned him as the natural successor when Carson retired in 1992. Becoming the official host of The Tonight Show wasn't without conflict. The network's choice of Jay over David Letterman triggered a decades-long rivalry that shaped late-night TV. Jay's clever navigation of network politics, including disguising himself at a press conference, helped him secure the coveted seat. His tenure featured some of television's most memorable moments, from interviewing President Bill Clinton shortly after the Monica Lewinsky scandal to creating popular segments like Headlines, which showcased absurd news clippings sent in by viewers. Ratings soared, and by 1998, Jay became the highest-paid late-night host of his era, securing contracts worth $100 million. Yet behind the success, tension brewed. A controversial clash with Conan O'Brien in 2009 to 2010 shook the television world. Jay initially promised to leave The Tonight Show to Conan, but NBC's shifting plans led to Conan leaving the network, a public scandal, and a media firestorm that forever altered Leno's public image. Inside his own team, workplace struggles persisted. His manager, Helen Kushnick, ruled with fear, screaming at staff, slamming phones, and even throwing objects. Jay endured it silently, knowing his career was at stake, until NBC eventually intervened. While his professional life was stormy, Jay's personal life offered stability. He met Mavis Nicholson at the Comedy Store in 1976, and they married in 1980 in a modest ceremony. Together, they chose not to have children, focusing instead on shared values, activism, and their careers. Mavis built a strong identity through her work, founding the Women's Rights Fund and producing documentaries on social justice issues. Jay supported her fully, often donating income from The Tonight Show to her projects. Their partnership exemplified loyalty, love, and shared purpose. After stepping down from The Tonight Show in 2014, Jay Leno shifted focus to his lifelong passion, cars. Jay Leno's Garage, launched in 2015, became a cultural phenomenon, showcasing his 180-plus vehicles, rare engines, and celebrity guests. The show combined technical knowledge with humor, creating a platform that was uniquely Jay. Even in this new chapter, Jay's resilience shone. The 2022 garage fire could have ended everything, but he recovered with the same calm, humorous demeanor that defined his public persona. The incident underscored his toughness, persistence, and ability to face life's literal and figurative flames. Jay Leno's career spans decades of comedy, late-night innovation, and personal triumph. From a mischievous boy in Massachusetts to the host of one of the most iconic shows in television history, he built his legacy through perseverance, timing, and the ability to connect with audiences. Beyond the laughter, Leno's story is a testament to resilience, dedication, and the power of staying true to oneself, even when the world, the network, or fate itself challenges you. He faced rivalries, workplace chaos, accidents, and controversies, yet remained a figure of consistency, humor, and generosity. Through it all, he never lost his love for cars, comedy, or his family, reminding us that even amidst fame and chaos, what matters most is passion, purpose, and the people who stand by your side. If this kind of story touches your heart, if you're someone who cares about truth, responsibility, and speaking up for the voiceless, please like this video, subscribe to our channel and share it with someone who should hear it. Let's get started.